Hola, and welcome back to another episode of the Relationship School's Smart Couple Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Gaddis, and it's good to be back with you right now. Could you say that to your partner? Honey, it's good to be back with you right now. And look them right in the eye. We build intimacy here and deeper connections. And we help you with long-term relationship stress. And we want to help you rock that part of your life, because I want your long-term relationships to be safe harbors and launching pads. All right, as Dan Siegel says. Okay, in the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about coaching. We've been talking about our RC1 program, and we've been talking about our DPIR program. DPIR stands for the Deep Psychology of Intimate Relationships. This is the class you never got in school, folks. This is it. And we teach it twice a year here in Boulder, Colorado, and virtually across the world. We would love you to come participate and change forever this part of your life. I don't know of a better course than this one on long-term relationship. And I think it's about the most robust. And it changes people's lives, as is evidenced by the people who go through it. So the men and women and beautiful creatures that go through this course change. And they don't change to try to conform to society's standards or who their partner wants them to be. They change to become more of who they are. I talk a lot about the difference between your true self and your strategic self. And these get integrated because you can't get rid of your strategic self, but you can integrate it inside of a deeper part of you, which is called your true self. So that's what we're about here, helping you be you through the vehicle of relationship and connection. Okay, if you want to learn more about how to have awesome long-term relationships outside of the podcast, you want to come to a free live class with me, go to relationshipschool.com/choose you. All right, and we're going to talk about how to break the cycle of dissatisfaction in your relationship, even if your partner is unwilling or unavailable. Okay, because I want you to snap that pattern. And we're going to cover everything from how to turn your relationship pain into the biggest opportunity you've ever had in your life, to the 4 most enormous needs you have that are not negotiable, how to speak to your truth to your partner without being a jerk or burning a bridge, and the secret ingredient that makes any relationship work. So tons, all right? Go to relationshipschool.com/choose you if you want to catch me live on a free web class. And if you want to apply for DPIR, okay, we only accept applications. You cannot just sign up, all right? We want to make sure you're a good fit, because not everybody's a good fit. Not everybody's been a good fit who's signed up for this course. So we're getting more strict about who we let in, and we require an interview if you want to get in. Okay, so go to relationshipschool.com/DPIR. That's the sales page. Scroll down, click apply now to apply. All right, we want your application. No need to be super scared here. Do know that if you're feeling fear, that's appropriate. And if this is something you're looking to change in your life, this is, to me, the way to do it, is to invest in yourself for 9 months. Don't wait till shit gets bad and do the Band-Aid thing. It's okay, but it's limited in terms of the results you're going to get. Okay. In this episode, we got 3 amazing women who have taken the DPIR course. 1 is actually halfway through, and 2 have completed the Deep Psychology of Intimate Relationship 9-month training. And I just wanted to get them on here to talk about their experience, because I think it's more effective for you to hear from real people who have gone through this course at varying ages, different life stages, parents, non-parents, single, partnered. I think it's helpful for you to hear from people just like you, who have made a big difference in their life and made big, big changes in their relational world thanks to this course. This podcast is hearing how people's lives have changed because they invested in themselves. That's what this podcast is about today. All right. All right. Stay tuned to the end, of course, for your action step, and listen in as these 3 incredible women share a little slice of their story in the past here with the school. All right. You're going to hear from Brittany, Darlene, and Karina. And we'll put a little more about them in the show notes. But these women have worked hard to be where they're at in their life. And I want you to just listen closely. All right. Okay. Let's do it. All right. Welcome to the show, Darlene, Brittany, and Karina.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, ladies, tell us, we're talking today about the Deep Psychology of Intimate Relationships 9-month training here at the Relationship School. And we're going to get into that and your experience of it because you've all participated or are participating. But first, by way of introductions, can you guys just introduce yourselves? Name, relationship status, where you're from, and maybe when you completed the deeper course, something like that.
Cool.
Okay, well, I'm Darlene Carey, and I started in June of 2017 with one of Jason's courses, and then I took another and another and another, and then I decided to just go all in with the deeper course, and I completed it in October of 2018. So I have been on a 2-year journey now, and it's been incredible.
Awesome. And what's your relationship status currently?
I'm currently single, divorced 3 years ago, and I have a son who's 30 years old, and he is my business partner. We
Okay.
have a family-owned business.
Awesome. Very cool. Thanks, Darlene.
Mm-hmm.
I am Karina. I'm from Michigan, and I took Deeper. I started Deeper last year, 2018, and just graduated in May. Woo woo. And I am in a committed partnership.
And kids or no kids?
Yes, I have an 11-year-old daughter.
Oh,
Cool.
nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Brittany?
Yeah. So I live in, I guess I'd say Portland, the Portland area of Oregon. It's officially tigered, and I'm right midway in the process of Deeper. I started in February, and I have 2 kids. I have a 9-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son, and I'm married.
Nice. And how long have you been married?
2006.
Okay. A while. Like 13 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going on 12 this year. 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, ladies, why in the heck did you sign up for this deeper course? What was going on in your life at the time?
Well, I can start. I jumped into a relationship right after my divorce. I had been married 28 years, and I knew I wasn't happy, but I didn't really know why. And I got in a relationship, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted. And then through the toxicity of what evolved in that relationship, I was seeking answers because I was in so much pain. And I figured out that the journey really starts not by changing the other partner or blaming your partner. It all starts in you. Well, in me. So I can speak for myself of what an incredible learning experience I've had, getting to know myself and what I want and what I need. And I'm able to now not take things so personally at all, actually, and own my own side of all relational equations.
Yeah, cool.
It's pretty empowering.
Very. Yeah, I've watched that process with you, and I remember when you first kind of joined us, there was some finger pointing going on.
Oh, yeah.
And so I love the ownership there that was such a big shift for you. It was really cool to watch. Yeah.
Huge. Thank you.
Yeah.
I can go next. So it was twofold reason for me. I am also a school counselor, and I do private practice. And so part of it was to build some skills for my professional life. And then the other part was in being in relationship for the stint that I have with my husband. I just started noticing some walls that we were hitting, and it was getting repetitive. Noticing some things just, happening over and over again that I wanted to be different. And we considered a few different things. We even considered counseling, and we tried another course. so I decided to dive into this. I was really resonating with your podcast, Jason, and he was listening to some of them. And so, yeah, jumped in so they could learn more.
Awesome. Thanks, Brittany. And yeah, you're halfway through, and so far so good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, we'll talk about. All right, cool. I want to get into what you got, some of the things you got in a minute. All right, Karina.
Cool. So there's a few things for me that I said heck yeah to deeper. First, I would say it also started in schools with me when I would substitute teach, and I was realizing like, wow, these kids really don't know how to communicate with each other, or not necessarily knowing how to express what's going on for them. Seeing kindergartners like running at each other, jumping on desks, and just feeling an environment that didn't feel settled and right for students to thrive. And then in my personal life, a big journey of mine, or I'd say maybe like a main challenge / journey, has been finding my voice and really being able to communicate. And as I took some courses through the relationship school and was finding my voice, and also really looking into coaching. And then what really had me say yes to deeper was, okay, these are some for real tools that aren't just a framework that I can think about, but these are actually tools that I can start with right now and start using in my life right now. So when I realized that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm all in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super cool. Okay, we lost Arlene, but she'll be back here. And Brittany, I'm curious for you, you're halfway through the course this year in 2019, and I'm just curious, like, how is it going, and what are you, like, what's one or two takeaways that you've gotten so far that have been helpful in your life with either the students you work with or your husband or your own children?
It's going really well. I'm learning tons. And I'd say two big takeaways are ownership, similar to what Darlene was talking about, owning my stuff. I feel like I did a lot of projecting historically and got into like a defensive stance quite often. And I'm able to let down more easily in those places. And then also better active listening skills. I think there was this part of me that felt like I was fairly skilled at that, you know, from counselor training and whatnot, but it's next level. I'm feeling really adept there.
Nice. What is it that we're doing that might be, has added to your counseling skills? I'm just curious.
In terms of the listening or overall?
Yeah, listening or overall, just relating.
Yeah. Presence. Being able to be really present with an individual and being able to listen until they're understood. Like, you know, I would convince myself, I think sometimes in the past, like, oh, I got him, I get it. But even just the simple idea of just checking in, like, am I getting you here? Like, do I understand? Mm-hmm. Like, it's been huge. So those are a couple things that come to mind.
Okay. If I interviewed your husband and I said, hey dude, what do you think, what's going on with your wife over there? Has anything changed in your marriage since you started this course? What would he say?
Well, he'd say I've always been like growth oriented. So he'd say, yeah, she's doing her thing. But he'd say, she's really sticking with something and she is less defensive. And she is better at soothing and being experimental and coming back to something to do repair more quickly. Mm-hmm. And just getting real about what's going on with her in terms of like the ownership, being able to say, oh yeah, that's mine. That's my stuff. And here's what I can take accountability for. Yeah.
That's so cool. Maybe I should interview him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He listens to
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, it can be a lot for a partner to witness their partner go through deeper, because there can be quite the dissolving and rebuilding process for some people, depending on how intense it is for people. So just appreciating all the partners of Deeper students here. Just want to give a shout out to you guys, whoever you are out there listening.
Nice.
And
yeah.
I was just going to say, and we've had I don't want to like make it sound like it's been seamless. Like there's definitely been some moments where it's been like, oh, holy crap, the shit is hitting the fan here, and where are those tools, and I need to reset. And, you know, sometimes it's a hot mess, but then I'm able to step away, regroup, come back and say, let's have a redo here.
Mm-hmm.
And that feels a lot better.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool modeling too for your kids, you know?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Darlene, welcome back. We're just talking about kind of what you got, like one or two takeaways from the course. And I was asking Brittany about her experience so far. So maybe you and Karina could just mention one or two takeaways that were like really big for you in the 9 months.
Yes. There were so many, but I would have to say that knowing exactly what I'm looking for now makes the vetting process so much easier in the dating pool. And instead of, kissing 100 toads, I'm able to just zero in on the princes of the world, my princes, in other words. And so I've enjoyed that part, and it feels so good to not waste time on, things that already aren't going to work out. If there's red flags or there's non-negotiable needs, and you can just eliminate that right in the beginning. So it's good to know. And I think the second takeaway is that people are not meaning to hurt my feelings or say or do anything. It's not about me. It's really everyone owns their own stuff. And so I don't take anything personally anymore. And it feels so good to just feel as though I'm in control of what I do and they own what they do. And that's it. Stay in my lane, as you like to say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really sweet. I want to come back to the first point you mentioned there around dating in a way. I'm hearing, this is my interpretation, so correct me if I'm wrong, that, and we don't, by the way, teach dating at all in the Deeper course. But I think what I heard there is that your standards have gone up and your willingness to put up with bullshit has gone down.
Oh, way. Yes, Jason, thank you. I can't believe what I tolerated and put up with before. And I just know now. And I'm worth so much more than that. And I have much higher standards. And you know what? There certainly are men out there that hold those standards that I'm looking for. There's plenty of them. So it's awesome.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. And again, the kind of the punchline for me here with you is that you did the work to value yourself even more and more and more, which is what allowed for that kind of transformation and that kind of result. So I just want to applaud you again for, digging in and going for it.
Well, thank you. And I have, and I'm still doing it. And I plan to continue with RC1 in September. So I'm very excited to continue with the study and continue to grow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Awesome. Psyched for round 2 with you.
Yeah. Can't wait.
All right, cool. Karina, how about you? One or two takeaways from Deeper that, really had a big impact on you and your family?
Yes, heck yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much to take away. Even though I've already graduated, I'm still learning from Deeper as I integrate. I would also say the personal responsibility piece, both the macro and the micro. Having been able to dive into my relationship with myself and relationship with both with my daughter, with friends, family, people I don't know, and in my intimate relationship, I understand even more deeply now what it means and how you encourage us to think about it too. Like, I really feel like I can be the author in my life. So there's that macro picture of really being able to understand what it is I'm even doing or what's important to me. Where am I headed? How can I take personal responsibility and act for myself? And in addition, those micro tools of doing the work every day and in relationship. is super empowering, right? And that's, I think, the micro piece that's like the tedious work that I humble myself, like, fuck, I still don't have this yet, but I feel solid that I know how I have resources now. Even when it gets hard, it's like, all right, I can spot where that didn't work out, and I have resources to help me out moving forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're returning,
Yeah.
I'm guessing, in a different way, maybe.
Returning like to the school?
No, like when you come back after you've kind of been upset with someone, you return in a different way. I'm hearing you're like more responsible when you come back after a rupture or a conflict or something.
Absolutely. Even like with little things where I may feel rejected, but it's like, oh, that was actually my childhood self being rejected. And I have this tool to help me see that in myself and not blame my partner, but I can instead be like, oh, there's a lesson here that I can know more about myself from.
Yeah.
So absolutely being able to return for sure.
Awesome. And what's the impact on your daughter? I'm curious if there's anything you noticed in your relationship with her.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I would say I noticed that she's able to speak up more and really be able to communicate her feelings to me, and for us to be able to stay in communication with each other. And part of that, I would say, is me being able to own my stuff or be able to return, like you're saying, say I am more irritated, and rather than staying in that or thinking that things have to be a certain way, I can come back and be like, hey, I totally own that. I was trying to get you to do this and that didn't really work out so well. And I'm curious what that was like for you. So really just her knowing that I do care about her, and for me to be able to express that and to be able to come back and soothe her and show how important our relationship is. So I think I see her communication and her confidence coming through even more.
Yeah. So sweet. Nice. What's been a favorite part of the class for you three? Just like that was either fun or really interesting or really confronting, or what was like one favorite class or subject?
I was just going to go off of, it's not a specific class, but I love the connection, the community connection that goes down. Like as connected as I feel with my people, this is different. It's really palpable. It's like I remember coming back from a live event and merging back with my group. And it felt so different. And of course I still love all those people, but there was this longing for that other connection. And, I carried it with me still, but, yeah, I just really noticed the difference in connections that I have here versus connections with the group.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big one for people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in terms of class, doing the interview, like getting into family of origin stuff and then doing an interview with my dad was hands down the most impactful thing ever. That's what I wrote about afterwards to Carrie was, yeah. And my husband said afterwards, like, you're getting a lot out of this class, but that was your money's worth right there. Like, because we were estranged and now we're not.
Wow. Yeah. Just got chills. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I mean, yeah. And for context for the listener, close to halfway through, we have you interview your parents. And if your parents are deceased, then we have a backup plan, or a couple that you look up to. But we're trying to really unpack like where we got all these downloads from our, family perhaps and caregivers. Anyway, so thanks for saying that. I think it's both confronting and can be liberating for some people in the course. Nice. What else, ladies?
I'm a better communicator because of DPIR. In my normal life outside of your tribe there, I would say things and not really have any feedback, or, not share feedback. And now that that's just a part of my normal communicating lexicon, it's really helped to strengthen all of my friendships, my work relationships. And I had a piece with a shift from anger and frustration with my dementia mom to gratitude and love, and held her right before she passed away in December, which was after the course. So I was able to have full peace with that as well. And it really made a huge difference. And communication. And it's nice to know when people are open emotionally and available, and I can spot instantly if they're just emotionally unavailable. And that no longer works for me, because I need to feel connected to people that are in my circle and that I invite into my life and my space. So now it's easy to select friends that are part of a new tribe that I'm building.
Mm-hmm. So cool. Yeah. And to kind of model the way for them to be the relational leader, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that piece around your mom. I wasn't aware of that in this way. So that's helpful to hear right from you. So it's powerful.
Cool. I totally agree with the communication, feeling like a relational leader, feeling straight up community, family, friendships from deeper. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And would add then to what Darlene and Brittany have said, that knowing more about my relational blueprint and how my past is affecting right now, and has been really huge, and is something that I can take with me every day, and it's something that's overflowing into how I can have compassion for my partner and for my daughter and for other people, because I understand how complex it is within myself. Mm-hmm. So that was a big one for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Ellen and I were just a few minutes ago working on this attachment class that we're teaching at this Integrative Psychiatric Institute conference this summer. And, it's building off what we learn in deeper around your relational blueprint and where your relational patterns got set up. So for the listener, again, for context, we spend, a good chunk of the class talking about attachment and your earliest relationships. And at the very first live event, we do some exercises that are pretty confronting around that and, enlightening, hopefully. Yeah, cool. Yeah, and then feedback, I just want to piggyback off Darlene. You said you used the word feedback, and that's another class we teach, is basically how to give feedback in a loving, respectful way. Because sometimes we give feedback out in the world or at work, and it can be, just leave people feeling really judged. And it seems like for you, at least, Darlene, the feedback piece can be helpful. And, it's something a lot of people are hungry for, is like a real reflection on how you actually are. How many times before this course did you get a friend saying, "Hey, can I give you some feedback on how I experience you?" Probably not much. So it can be kind of like nice to feel that from people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How did you guys justify the cost of this course? It's $6,000 course. It's a big chunk of change for most human beings. How did you make that work in your own life?
That was easy.
It's like, it's a stretch, right? Maybe some people are independently wealthy and it's like a piece of cake, but most people aren't. And it's like, ooh, this is really intense for me. So I'm just curious how you justified that and how you made that decision internally for yourself.
Jason, can I say that I was seeing a psychiatrist once a week at $160 a pop, and that was for 45 minutes. And after 6 months, I did the math. And I went, okay, continue this once a week or this course. With the once a week, I just pretty much vomited what I was feeling, and he nodded his head a lot. And that was pretty much it. Whereas this course, I knew I was going to get PDFs, homework, discussions, one-on-ones, practice skills, building. And I just thought, oh my gosh, it's a no-brainer. This is so much of a better value for the money than to continue with that psychiatrist for the next 10 years and still maybe not even get anywhere. So I love this course. It's so worth every penny.
Cool. Thanks, Darlene. That's sweet. Yeah. It costs, it's, sometimes we can stack it up against the cost of what we're already spending at the gym or at the psychiatrist or the therapist or the whoever it is and see that like, oh, it's actually over time, it's maybe not that much. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got blessed with some support from my mom as I was shifting. I'm still doing the school counseling, but shifting into private practice. She offered a pot of money to help with that. So as I was looking at all my different choices of continuing my education and exploration, this really rose to the top for me. And I did some comparisons with a couple of things that were out there. And also I did grad school back in the day. And so thinking about what I got from that in comparison with what you were telling me I would get from this. And at one point, I had a lot of discussions with people in my life that were close. And at one point I had a deeper sense that, no pun intended, I had like a sense going on internally that like, this is for me, like, this is the next best step. And a lot of that came from just listening to you, Jason, on your podcast. Like I said earlier, how much that resonated with me. Everything just kind of fell into alignment. It was like, yeah, this is right. And also I took a leap. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sweet. And so I'm hearing, yeah, you had support from your family, but also more importantly was this inner knowing and inner sense and intuition guiding you, saying, yeah, I got to do this for myself.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks.
Yeah. And it's paying off. I'll add that.
Yeah. I'm hearing that.
I'd say for me too, it was an inner knowing, just like, okay, I see this consistency with the school and with what you were bringing forward and how you were showing up, Jason. And health is a big value for me. And I knew that if I could show up in relationship in a different way, understand myself more, be able to communicate more, I'm going to feel healthier inside and out. And so knowing that, it's like, oh, heck yeah, if I can really dive in, go deeper with my life, this is not just about relationship. It impacts everything else in life. So for me, that was it, was like, okay, going in for deeper is going to change and improve and really allow me to show up even more for every area of my life.
So awesome. Yeah. And it's fun to see over here, just that happening, just that each of you just growing and developing. Like that's one of the, benefits of being in my seat is how rewarding it is to see people transform their lives and their families. And it's just really inspiring. So thanks for all the hard work and effort and care. And, you're getting out of it what you put into it, right? So you put a lot in, and we sort of set it up so that, okay, you got to put a lot into this course, because we know that if you do that, you're going to change, in a really strong way. So awesome. Okay. Any final words before we close out? Again, just want to thank you for your time. So yeah, any last minute thoughts for the listener who maybe was like you, they were listening to the podcast and they were like, well, I don't know, like maybe not this year. It's kind of expensive. And they're busy in their life. There's so many things going on. Like, any parting words for those folks?
I will add, I often think about how you say this is the course you never got in school. And I'm often literally thinking like, this is so fucking true. It's so true that, I guess for me, the story I have about it is that it really feels needed and necessary. And so I just feel honored to have the opportunity to have done this, given that I can't imagine not having had this experience.
Yeah. Awesome. Yep. So get that class that you never got in school. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, for real.
Sweet.
I'd say, why put off a better quality of life? Don't wait until you're older. I mean, if this was around 20 years ago, I would have jumped on it then too, but it's never too late. And so it's not too late to invest in you, but if you're younger, do it now so that the rest of your life can be that much better and you can really rock all your relationships.
Nice. Thanks, Darlene.
Yeah. And I would just say that for those people out there that tend to, perseverate on things or have analysis paralysis and get kind of stuck, there's real value in just taking the leap, because that's what I did, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right. Thanks, ladies, again, for just your hard work and your words of wisdom here, and just you sharing your story. It means a lot. And there's some, appreciate the capacity you have to be vulnerable and share what's real for you. So thanks. And is it okay if people wanted to reach out to you, could we leave your email addresses perhaps in the show notes in case someone felt a resonance and had more questions for you or something?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Totally.
Cool. Okay, listener, we'll do that. If you want to follow up with any of these women here, you can. Okay. And thanks again. And we'll see you all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Bye.
See you soon.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. Relationship School fans and Smart Couple listeners, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. All right. Do us a favor, subscribe, share one of these videos with a friend. All right. We want to help the planet get their act together around relationships. And you are one of them. So thank you.